Hey everybody, hope this finds you doing well. What a week it was for Bitcoin and the world of cryptocurrency. Of course, we continue to have more and more news come out each week with regards to what's happening not only with Bitcoin, and we're on $100,000 watch, but also all the interesting stories that are starting to really circulate in mainstream media. We're starting to hear more and more about Bitcoin, not only on our TVs, but also when we're walking around. More people are starting to learn and hear a little bit more about Bitcoin, particularly because of the fact that it is about to hit $100,000. As you can see here, if we go over the crypto market update, Bitcoin is currently trading at $97,683 at the time of this recording. Maybe it'll be 100,000 by the time you watch this. We shall see what it will look like going into this week. You see Ethereum is up 7% at $3,346. Solana is up 5.79% at $251. XRP had a nice jump up at 25% over the past week, trading at $1.40. Dogecoin has had some nice run up as well. It's now at 42 cents. It was at around 48, 49 cents at its high fairly recently. And then you see Cardano is now back in the top 10. It has done extremely well also over the last week or two. It is up over 35%, currently trading just a hair under $1. And we have Tron at number 10 and 11. We'll go ahead and give them a mention. Avalanche is up 16.6%, currently at $41. So if we take a look at what's happening with Bitcoin right now, let's go ahead and choose candle view. And as you can see here, Bitcoin is currently at $97,000, and we're looking to see if it will hold above around that 96, 95 range. And if it does, then we definitely could have a catalyst moving into this week. And I wouldn't be surprised, and we'll talk about this in a minute, I wouldn't be surprised if Microstrategy makes another announcement that they bought more Bitcoin over the past week, considering how much money they have been able to raise through their convertible notes, but also through selling shares at the money through the ATM. And this is a part of their 21 plus 21 plan that we discussed a couple of weeks ago that they came out with at their earnings call. So if we look over the past month, Bitcoin has done amazing. It's gone up over 40% since November 1st. You can see down here that it was at around $69,000 right before the US election, and it has gone all the way up to $99,000, and now we're waiting to see if it will break $100,000. So it's gone up over $30,000 in a month. So this is what can happen with cryptocurrency. You can see that type of swing that can happen with cryptocurrency, particularly not only with Bitcoin, but other cryptocurrencies. Obviously, we focus a lot on Bitcoin, which is the top cryptocurrency, considered the store of value, considered digital gold, a hedge against inflation, a hedge against inflation in fiat currencies. So this is the number one coin, and it is the tide that moves all boats. So we'll continue to keep an eye out for Bitcoin as we get closer to $100,000. Now, as you can see here, the Bitcoin ETFs, the demand continues to grow, especially since we get closer to $100,000. You're going to start to hear it more and more, not only on your news stations, but you'll start to see it obviously on social media. You may start hearing it, on your Uber ride or Lyft ride. When you start to hear it more and more, that means that the demand is going to continue to grow, not only from retail, but the demand is growing from institutions as well. We already talked in the past several episodes about states that are looking to put Bitcoin on its balance sheet. And we've also heard that obviously the United States is looking to potentially grow a strategic Bitcoin reserve. So with that, a lot of companies and a lot of institutions are looking to potentially front run the United States if they do in fact decide to start buying Bitcoin as a part of their Bitcoin strategy. As you can see here, the spot Bitcoin ETFs bought around 34,000 Bitcoin over this past week, and only 3,150 were mined. So over 10x of Bitcoin was bought by these Bitcoin spot ETFs, and only 3,150 were mined. You have to really take a step back, like we said in the last video, put things into perspective. There's a ton of demand, and you see that limited supply. And it's going to continue to get cut every 4 years. We're now at 3.125 Bitcoin per block. Then it'll be half of that. Then it'll be half of that until we get to 21 million, and that's it. So there are a lot of people who do not plan on selling their Bitcoin. Some say that they will not sell their Bitcoin ever, but there's a number for a lot of people. But a lot of people are waiting for it to get to not only 6 figures, but 7 figures, maybe 8 figures. These are the numbers that are possible. It sounds crazy now, but it's actually possible, especially considering that fiat currencies continue to be inflated, that there's going to continue to be more dollars circulating. And when that happens, it's not doing well against Bitcoin. Bitcoin is doing much better against fiat currencies. As you can see, Bitcoin continues to go up and to the right over time. Here's another look at what the spot Bitcoin ETF volumes are right now. You can see that we're nearing all-time high volumes from last visited in March of 2024. So it just goes to show we went through this lull period where Bitcoin was ranging between that 50, I'd say $50,000 to $70,000 range for most of the year. And now we're starting to head right back up. Another major institution and bank, Charles Schwab, which has around $7 trillion of assets under management. They're definitely a major player in finance, and they are looking to directly offer crypto to its clients. The new incoming CEO says that Charles Schwab has plans to directly offer crypto investments to its clients. And they have been very active in the crypto space through the ETFs, because they do offer the ETFs through various accounts on their platform. But they are also looking to directly offer crypto. This is a traditional investment financial services firm. And we're starting to see, we obviously know BlackRock, Fidelity, Franklin Templeton, and such are already issuing these Bitcoin ETFs, but now you're starting to see the rest of the herd come in. They're seeing these numbers. When you look at, 34,000 Bitcoin being bought up by these spot Bitcoin ETFs, the writing's on the wall. And so these major players are looking to also get a piece. When they're seeing that Bitcoin went from 16,000 at the bottom of the bear market in the beginning of 2023 and is now knocking on $100,000, that's called ROI, return on investment. Microstrategy has also been a popular name recently over the last several months and several weeks, particularly because of its tremendous growth in its stock price. And part of it is because of the fact that Microstrategy continues to buy more Bitcoin. You can see here Microstrategy acquired over 51,000 Bitcoin last week. We are looking for the announcement probably potentially sometime this week. If not, by the time you're watching this, they may have already made an announcement, but they're continuing to buy Bitcoin. And we know this because their former CEO and founder, Michael Saylor, he basically just gave a heads up that they need to add more green dots. These green dots represent every time MicroStrategy bought more Bitcoin. And you can see they continue to go up and increase in the amount of Bitcoin that they buy. One last story before we let you go. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate your support here at Networkchain. Check us out on X as well as IG. Now institutions are looking to use Bitcoin to support pension funds as well as adding Bitcoin to loans. So now you're going to find different banks, for example, and lenders find creative ways to add Bitcoin into the loan and roll it into the loan. So there was an announcement earlier this week New Market Capital has completed a loan that combines traditional real estate financing with Bitcoin as collateral. So not only, so if you're borrowing money, taking out a mortgage on your house, obviously to buy a home, if you then get equity in your home, you can then use your house as collateral to take out more money and get a loan to make improvements. A lot of people do this to, refinance their mortgage. So now these lenders are considering using Bitcoin. So the transaction, as you can see here, allows the property sponsor, which is the person who is borrowing the money, to repay their existing mortgage. This is the money that they received from the lender, to fund capital improvements, as I mentioned, and add Bitcoin to the loan's collateral. So with the money that they receive, they can pay off their existing mortgage, use some of those funds to make improvements to their property, and they also have to buy Bitcoin, and that Bitcoin is going to be held in escrow, and it has to be held for at least 4 years. So they can pay off the loan early. Usually with these type of loans, commercial loans, you actually have to pay a fee for paying off your money early, paying off your loan early. But in this case, you can pay off your loan without the fees, but you have to keep the Bitcoin in escrow for at least 4 years. And that means that they're understanding the 4-year cycles that we've talked about with the Bitcoin halving. Every 4 years is the Bitcoin halving. So in a 4-year period, Bitcoin has positive returns. Any 4-year period that you look at, it has positive returns. At minimum 20+%. So they're looking at, okay, we have this Bitcoin now as collateral. So if somebody defaults on their loan, we have been sitting on Bitcoin and it's worth more than the fiat currency. So it's just going to show that people are really starting to understand what's happening with fiat currency. And so they're willing to use and find creative ways to use a hard asset, which is Bitcoin. So continue to learn, continue to be on your learning journey just like we are. We're going to provide as much information as we can. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to check us out nearly every day on X as well as IG. In the meantime, take care and keep stacking. Bye-bye.